You can move first, and then you can move.
That's kind of why I'm not sitting there.
All right, let's pray.
God, thank you for this day. Please help us on our hike. Please help us that no one gets hurt. Thank you for this lake and fun trip.
Amen. Amen. Hey, so for non-kids, non-adults, anybody know why it is that leaves change their color in the fall?
Oh, I know.
Ooh, I know. Okay, let's go.
Chlorophyll. They lose their chlorophyll.
Lose their chlorophyll. That's good for you, buddy. That's true. Anybody know what that scientific process is called? This would be big bonus points. Jewels in your crown.
Starts with a P.
It does. Mr. Joe, you tell him.
Photosynthesis.
Yes, it's photosynthesis. That's right.
I have never.
That's all right. So you need light, you need water, and so something else happens. Another big P word, photoperiodism, means that there's less light in each day, and so as the light diminishes, there's less light feeding this thing, and it gives off color. The reason I bring that up is God could just have these things die and be brown, right? I mean, that could be an easy way to do it, and each changing the seasons. But He chooses to allow it to go through this process. It gives us this amazing picture out there. We came at a great time of year. So this morning we're going to read from Psalm 19. There's two different ways that God reveals Himself. One is called specific revelation, right? Through the Word. He reveals Himself. We know who God is because He tells us in His Word who He is. But another way is called general revelation, which means for everybody. Whether you've ever heard the gospel before, whether you ever had a Bible, whether you've ever been to church before, there's ways that you can look around you and you could say without any kind of compromise that God certainly is the Creator. And so we see in Psalm 19, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims His handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, there are no words, His voice is not heard. And in Romans, the Apostle Paul says the same thing in his first chapter. He says, "For what can be known about God, the things that we can know about God are plain, because God has shown it to us. For His invisible attributes," means the things that you can't see necessarily with our own eyes, "are all around us. His eternal power, His divine nature, they've been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world." And these things that have been made, so they're without excuse. So it means that when we're outside and we're hiking around and we're spending time in the outside, it's more than just having a great time and fellowshipping and being away for the weekend, but being out in nature is a way for us to constantly and continually come to know more about the Lord. And not just in the ways that we see things. I mean, we probably have been sunsets, sunrises, things that you've seen this week that have given you opportunity to praise, but in our relationships and in the things that we've experienced this week. And so I thought it would be good, and we don't have to go around in a circle or anything, but I'd love to know if there are ways on this weekend trip here that you recognize God. And it could be in a scene that you saw. It could be in and just in some of the stillness or silence. It could be in a conversation you had with somebody, in a way that being out in the woods this weekend has been a way that you've seen God revealed to you in a new kind of way this weekend.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I prayed that I would make it on that hike yesterday, and I'm standing right here.
The Lord is real.
Man, that was rough.
Yeah, I was having trouble too.
Same.
You're like the
Everywhere
one
you
going
look
like 4
yesterday,
miles
you
per hour
would go
up the
to a
hill
rise, and you go up, and
with
you're
a
like, man,
pack on.
it's so high up. It's such a high hill, and then you look out and you see the mountains,
Yeah.
and everything's like, wow, that
First
was
part
worth
was
it.
easy.
It was pretty cool.
Second part, no way that you could go. You were like
Anybody else?
I think there's a lot of grace received and a lot of grace given on the trail yesterday. You know, sometimes we all struggled at different times and struggled with different things. I know I was struggling trying to get ready yesterday morning, but nobody once said anything to me negative about kind of being late, getting back on the trail. So that's grace given. I appreciate it. And
3 hours before.
and we turned out getting here early too, didn't we? So.
That was good. It is true. Sometimes it's one of the beauties of being out together like this. It's a great leveler, you know, that everybody's equal out here, and we're a team. And I saw that this week. We called ourselves a Band of Brothers, and it was an amazing opportunity just to see you guys come together. And it wasn't about competition, and it wasn't about who was better or faster or stronger. And folks came in at different times, but we helped one another. And Those that were weakest, we waited for. Those that were strongest had to hold back a little bit. And all that was a picture of the gospel to me, the way that, you know, we're thrown into this body of Christ together in such a way that folks come in with different strengths, different weaknesses, and it's our job to come alongside one another and make sure everybody crosses the finish line. So that was great for me to see that happen.
You know, you guys can come sit over here.
Yeah.
That would really help you out.
How about you, Joshua? How's
It's
God
another
revealed to you this
windshield.
weekend?
Yeah, I was gonna wonder.
No, the one thing I've seen out here, I've seen a lot of groups of young boys out and about, and a lot of times there's fighting. There's arguments. There's people, you know, one saying that, you know, I'm better than you. I'm better than the rest of them. They even fight with other groups of boys, and I haven't seen this out here. It's been kind of the picture of young Christian gentlemen who are embodying these Christian ideas of being charitable to each other and being kind to each other and loving one another in a way that means that you can get along. You don't have to constantly fight. You're not always at odds with your fellow man. You don't have to live like that. I mean, a lot of our society teaches that that's the way you live. You know, you have to outdo everybody else. You got to show how you're better, or you have something that's better, or you're smarter or stronger or faster than somebody else. We all have our own strengths and we all have our own weaknesses. But in a Christian fellowship of young men, you guys are behaving in a way that is really representing our group and our ideals and what we stand for very well. Because I've seen it. I've seen groups of boys who did not behave that way. And I think y'all have done a very, very good job representing us and what we stand for here on this trail.
As a dad, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We were going to, Patrick has agreed to lead us in the doxology as our close today. I'm going to sing with him too if you know it. Sing along with him. If not, just enjoy his voice carrying out. Patrick, you want to stand up here next to me?
Stand
We'll sing
up.
this together, buddy? Come on
Got
up.
the pipes on it.
Yeah, let's hear it, Patrick, now.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't go weak on us.
The heavens declare, right? Here we go.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen.
Fantastic.
Let's all put our hands in. We'll say walk worthy on 3. Come on. Robin.
Oh, maybe.
We can all get in here.
Are we seriously going to yell this?
That's right. Seriously.
Believe it.
Loud as you can.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Walk